The last chapter ended with Kafka's conversation with the mysterious samurai whom he had seen before at Ryune's shrine, who invited him to join them to form a stronger connection. What kind of connection could this samurai be referring to? Let's find out. We continue the story in chapter 117. After Kafka answered the mysterious samurai's question about his desire, he suddenly became part of a samurai army in the midst of a battle. Kafka's face showed complete bewilderment when this happened, and his companions immediately rushed into battle, where they faced a kaiju. His companions released a barrage of arrows, and as they charged forward, he kept getting bumped into because he wasn't moving. One samurai got angry at his inaction and failure to charge, asking if he was getting cowardly. Kafka was completely shocked by the events he was experiencing, wondering if he had entered an ancient battlefield. The samurai shouted again to charge forward, which confused Kafka because they only used spears and bows. He explained that every resource in this era was derived from kaiju, from shoulder pads to waraji and weapons, but because science wasn't prevalent yet, these were in their bare state. He learned from historical records that humans bonded directly with kaiju bodies using parasitic kaiju tissue as a medium. This not only released less power, but also placed an incredibly heavy strain on the body, far different from their current era. Someone shouted from behind him to watch out, and fortunately, the person pushed him away as a kaiju charged at him. When they fell to the ground, his savior yelled at him, asking why he was spacing out and that wasn't like him. When Kafka looked to see who had saved him, it turned out to be someone who looked like Hashina, who told him he would make their Sara squad captain cry. Kafka was extremely surprised by this and thought this might be his vice captain's ancestor. After that, Hashina ordered the Tora squad to shoot arrows from the left, while the Tori squad continued to lead the monster to the trench. They charged forward, and when they made the Yoju step on their ground trap, Hashina immediately signaled to fire their cannons, which hit the monster solidly. Kafka was amazed at how these samurai managed to fight a kaiju using only minimal equipment. When his companions brought down the monster, the mysterious samurai appeared behind him and began explaining that this was just another day like any other. Slaying kaiju while sacrificing many of their own, carrying out their harsh duty as they always did. But that was only what they thought. While the mysterious samurai was explaining, countless soldiers with dismembered bodies were scattered behind him. He saw a severed hand land beside him, and the mysterious samurai continued his explanation, saying that unexpectedly, they faced that being when it emerged from inside a body, and they had no ability to defeat it. Kafka looked behind, and he saw that the kaiju they had brought down transformed into a being that possessed eyes and multiple arms similar to those of the Daikaiju of the Meiriki era, just as what had happened to Nine's body. Kafka shouted for them to retreat and that he would face the monster, but it was too late when the kaiju violently swept away the charging samurai, and with just that one attack, their bodies were dismembered. Kafka's face showed extreme concern as he watched this scene while the mysterious samurai explained that it didn't matter how fast a soldier was there, how strong they were, and it didn't matter that they had the swordsman called greatest in all creation. He saw Hashina's ancestor easily impaled by this kaiju, and witnessed firsthand how the monster devoured him, which brought intense emotions to him. All he can do was shout no while watching this disturbing scene. He tried to charge at this kaiju, but using an incantation attack, it easily severed his lower body, while the mysterious samurai added that all soldiers there were equally decimated. The monster seemed to toy with each of the samurai, and Kafka could do nothing but watch. After the kaiju killed all the soldiers, it roared loudly, causing destruction to the surroundings. The samurai continued the story, saying that during this time, this creature took everything from them: their comrades, the fields they worked hard to cultivate, the homes they were supposed to return to, and their families. After that, Kafka's body fell into a body of water beneath a cave, and while the mysterious samurai added that they couldn't do anything and were completely powerless, countless souls of the fallen samurai began to embrace him, repeatedly saying the phrase "the shame." They gradually created something like a cocoon, and before long, it completely enveloped Kafka's body. After these souls gathered, They transformed into a being that looked like Kaiju number 8, and the samurai added that like insects, they were powerless against that monster. And there you have it. It seems this is the origin story of Kaiju number 8, apparently born from the collective shame of countless samurai who were slain by the Daikaiju of the Meiriki era. The events become even more exciting as the connection between the Daikaiju of the Meiriki era and 8 is revealed, so stay tuned for the next chapter.